I bought my mom a house and paid all her bills, but at a family gathering, she said, "You give us nothing but headaches." Everyone agreed with her, until I told them I wouldn't pay for their expensive lifestyle anymore. Her words stuck with me, "You give us nothing but headaches." The room went silent, no one looked at me. My uncle stirred his coffee, my aunt shifted in her seat, and my cousins stared at their phones. No one defended me. It hurt more than I wanted to admit. I had bought the house for my mom and covered everything: electricity, water, food, even the internet for my cousins. I made sure she didn't have to worry about money, but in front of the family, she treated me like I didn't matter. I clenched my fists under the table to stay calm. I wouldn't let them see me upset. "That's not fair, Mom," I said quietly. "I pay for everything, the house, the bills, the food. And you never let us forget it," she snapped. "You act like it's a favor, but a real daughter wouldn't keep score." I swallowed and looked around the room. My brother Lucas crossed his arms, his face unreadable. My sister-in-law wouldn't look at me. My cousins were quiet. No one stood up for me. I took a deep breath. "Okay." My mom frowned. "Okay, what?" "Okay," I repeated, standing up and pushing my chair back. "If my help is such a burden, I won't help anymore." The room froze. My mom looked shocked, like she thought I'd argue or beg, but I was done asking for appreciation I should have had. "I'm done paying for this house. I'm done paying your bills. I'm done supporting this family while being treated like an outsider." My uncle coughed awkwardly. My aunt stared at me, wide-eyed. Lucas leaned forward. "Wait. No," I cut him off. "You all sat there and let her say that to me. You let her treat me like a problem. Let's see how you do without me." I grabbed my purse and walked out. Outside, panic set in. My hands shook, my breath quickened, and my heart raced. I had set a boundary, but instead of feeling relieved, I felt empty. I got in my car, gripping the wheel. I knew my mom would twist my words, and the family would side with her. I'd be painted as the selfish daughter who abandoned them. But I wasn't going back. My phone buzzed. "Mom, come back inside. You're overreacting." Then another message. "Lucas, what are you doing? You can't just walk out like that." I turned off my phone and drove away. For days, my family stayed silent. No calls, no texts. It felt like waiting for a storm. Then, 3 days later, the messages came. "Mom, the electricity bill is due. I hope you're not serious about what you said." "Lucas, Mom is crying. Do you really want to do this to her?" "Aunt Lisa, sweetheart, families have disagreements, but cutting everyone off isn't the answer. Let's talk." I ignored them all. Then the guilt-tripping turned to anger. "Mom, I can't believe you would do this to us after everything I've done for you." "Lucas, you're so selfish. You think money makes you better than us." Selfish, that word again, the same one they always used when I didn't do everything for them. I laughed bitterly and threw my phone on the bed. Then came a knock at my door. I knew who it was before I opened it. Lucas stood there, arms crossed, looking mad. "You made your point," he said. "Now stop being dramatic and fix this." I leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed. "Fix what?" "You know what," he snapped. "Mom's freaking out, the bills are piling up, and you just, what, walk away?" I raised an eyebrow. "Why is that my problem?" His jaw tightened. "Because you're the one who always takes care of it. And maybe that's the problem," I said calmly. "Maybe it's time someone else steps up for a change." Lucas laughed dryly. "Like who, Mom? She doesn't work." "Me? I have my own expenses." I raised an eyebrow. "And I don't?" "You make more than all of us," he said. "Ah, there it is," I said. "Just because I make more doesn't mean I owe you anything. I bought the house for Mom. I've paid every bill, every grocery trip, every emergency, and instead of thanks, I get told I'm a headache." Lucas ran his hand through his hair. "She didn't mean that. She was upset." "No," I said, "she meant it, and the worst part? No one defended me, not even you." He looked away. Silence. Finally, I saw the guilt in his eyes. "You don't get it," he muttered. "Mom's scared. She doesn't know how to handle things without you." "Then maybe she should have thought about that before she humiliated me in front of everyone," I said, stepping inside. "I'm done, Lucas, figure it out." I closed the door. The next week was chaos. Mom called everyone, spinning her story. "She abandoned us. She's punishing me just because I asked for respect. She's selfish, greedy, only cares about money." Some relatives sided with her right away, telling me family is everything and how I'd regret this one day. But others started to see the cracks. "Aunt Lisa, sweetheart, I didn't know you were paying for everything. That's not fair to you." "Cousin Rachel, wait, hold up, you bought the house, and she still treats you like that?" Mom didn't expect people to question her, and when they did, her story started falling apart. By the end of the month, She called me, not to apologize, but to beg. Please, just cover the bills for one more month, we're struggling. I closed my eyes, took a deep breath, and gave her the same answer I gave Lucas. Figure it out. And for the first time in my life, I felt free. Days passed, then weeks. I expected my mom to apologize, to admit she was wrong, or at least thank me for everything I did. But she didn't. Instead, she made things worse. I started hearing rumors through the family, how I had turned my back on my own mother, how I forced her into financial ruin, and how I was so full of myself that I thought money could replace love. It was ridiculous. I had done everything for her, bought her a house, paid her bills, made sure she never had to worry, and the moment I stopped, I was the villain. But lies don't last forever, the truth was coming. It started with small cracks. Aunt Lisa called me one night. Sweetheart, I went to visit your mom today. She didn't look like she was struggling, she just got a brand new dining set, and she showed me a new gold bracelet your brother bought her. My stomach dropped. She told everyone she couldn't afford food. Well, Aunt Lisa said, she sure doesn't look like it. It wasn't just her, others started noticing too, like how Lucas had money for trips, and how my mom kept playing the victim while posting pictures of herself at fancy brunches. Then, the big reveal came when Rachel called me. Hey, do you know how much your mom is charging Lucas for rent? What? His wife said he only pays her $100 a month. I almost dropped my phone when I saw the message. $100? I had been paying for everything in that house, thousands of dollars every month, but now, Lucas, with a full-time job, was only giving my mom $100? That was the last straw. I was done. For years, I had been helping my family, giving up my own comfort to make sure they lived easy, but now that I stopped helping, they weren't struggling, they were pretending to, hoping I'd come back to fix things. I went back to the house that Sunday. For the first time in weeks, my mom looked at me with that familiar look, disappointment, with a hint of triumph. She probably thought I was there to apologize. Lucas stood by the counter, arms crossed, with a smug look on his face. I almost turned and left, but instead, I took a deep breath and set my purse down. I need to make something clear, I said calmly. I'm not paying for anything here anymore. My mom laughed. Oh, please, we all know you'll come back. You need us. Lucas smirked. Yeah, you won't let mom suffer, we all know that. I raised an eyebrow. How much rent are you paying, Lucas? His smirk faded. What? You heard me. He glanced at mom, then back at me. That's none of your business. It is my business, I said, stepping closer. I heard you're only giving her $100 a month. My mom tensed up. Who told you that? Does it matter? I folded my arms. You've been telling everyone you're broke, that I abandoned you, while Lucas is giving you pocket change and you're out buying gold bracelets. Lucas's face turned red. That's fair? Reasonable? Because if that's the case, my money should have lasted you years. My mom went silent. I let the silence hang. I'm not coming back, Mom, I said quietly. Not to this, not to being used, not to being disrespected after everything I've done for this family. I was your daughter, not your ATM, and if you can't see that, that's not my problem anymore. For the first time, I saw something different in her, fear. She knew I wasn't bluffing. I grabbed my purse and walked to the door. Lucas spoke up. You're just going to leave us like this? I stopped and turned back. You left me a long time ago, I said, then walked out. And this time, I didn't look back. The silence was overwhelming. For years, my phone had been filled with messages, requests for money, guilt trips, complaints about how I never did enough, but after that night, it was like I had disappeared from their world. No texts from Mom, no angry calls from Lucas, nothing. And for the first time, I felt free. I thought I'd feel guilty, but every day, I felt lighter, like I'd escaped from a cage I didn't even know I was locked in. I went out with friends without worrying about how much money I had left after paying my mom's bills. I bought new clothes without hearing her voice telling me it was selfish. I even booked a trip, something I never allowed myself to do before because every spare cent went to my family. Even in silence, I knew they were struggling. My cousin Rachel kept me updated, though I never asked. Lucas is losing it. Your mom told him he has to pay full rent now, and he's furious. I smirked. Oh, you mean like a normal adult? Exactly. He's been trying to guilt trip everyone, but no one's falling for it. Good. As for my mom, she kept pretending everything was fine, but cracks were showing. She stopped going out as much. She's been telling people you abandoned her, but even Aunt Lisa is starting to question it. People are realizing she had it good with you and let it slip away. That should have felt like victory, but it didn't. Deep down, I knew my mom would never admit she was wrong. She'd rather struggle than admit she pushed away the one person who always helped her. And honestly, that wasn't my problem anymore. 3 months passed before I heard from her again. It was late, and I had just gotten home from dinner with friends, something I'd been doing more of lately. It felt good to have a life outside my family's constant demands. My phone buzzed. Mom. I stared at the screen. I could ignore it. I should ignore it. But I answered. Hello? There was a long pause before she sighed heavily. You really meant it, didn't you? I swallowed. Yes, Mom, I did. Another silence, then a bitter laugh. I didn't think you had it in you. Well, I did. So, that's it? You just, what, pretend we don't exist? I sighed, rubbing my forehead. I'm not pretending anything. You made it clear how you saw me. I was just the one paying the bills, and when I stopped, you threw me away. I didn't. You did. Silence, then she spoke again. I'm struggling. I closed my eyes. I know. You could fix this, just help out a little, just for a few months, until we figure things out. No. Her voice hardened. You're really going to let your own mother suffer? There it was, the guilt, the same thing she'd always used. But this time, it didn't work. Mom, I said quietly, I already gave you everything I could, and it was never enough. It was never going to be enough. If I gave you money now, what would change? In 6 months, you'd be asking for more. It's different this time. No, it's not, I said, cutting her off, and deep down, you know that. She was silent. You never planned for a future without me paying for everything, I continued, and now you're realizing that was a mistake, but it's not my mistake to fix. Her breath hitched slightly, and for a moment, I thought she was going to cry, but when she spoke again, her voice was cold. Fine, if you want to be heartless, then don't expect to be welcomed back when you finally come to your senses. I took a slow breath. I won't. And for the first time, I hung up on her. I stared at my phone for a long time after that call. I expected to feel guilty, that familiar ache in my chest. But all I felt was peace. This time, I hadn't let her manipulate me. This time, I had chosen me. And maybe, just maybe, that was the greatest victory of all. Weeks passed, then months. I kept waiting for the guilt to come, for the loneliness my mom promised I'd feel. But it never did. Instead, I felt something I hadn't in years, relief. For the first time, I wasn't waking up with anxiety, wondering what financial crisis my family would throw at me next. I wasn't checking my bank account every day, calculating how much I could spare before they came asking for more. I was free. And I wasn't just surviving. I was living. I started traveling, something I never allowed myself to do. I went to Italy, sat in a small cafe in Rome, and let the sun warm my skin. I hiked through mountain trails I never thought I'd have the time or money for. I decorated my apartment, turning it into a home that finally reflected me, not a life sacrificed for others. I went out with friends, laughed until my stomach hurt, and didn't have to justify spending money on myself. And the best part? I didn't have to explain myself to anyone. No one was watching my every move, judging me for what I did or didn't do for them. No one was keeping a tally of what I owed them. I was done being my family's human bank account. And it was the best decision I ever made. One evening, as I was relaxing on my balcony with a glass of wine, my phone buzzed. It was Lucas. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity got the better of me, so I swiped to pick up the call. Hey, he said, sounding quieter than usual. Hey, I replied. There was a long pause before he spoke again. I messed up. I was confused. What do you mean? He sighed. I should have had your back that night at the family dinner, when Mom humiliated you. I didn't say anything. I stayed quiet, letting him keep talking. I guess I always thought you'd be there, that no matter how much we threw at you, you'd handle it, but when you left, I had to step up, and I realized just how much you were doing. Another pause, then he added, I'm sorry. I took a slow breath, holding my wine glass a little tighter. What changed? I asked. Lucas let out a dry laugh. Mom did. What do you mean? She's still acting like the victim, he said, telling everyone you abandoned her, but now that I'm paying for everything, she's treating me the same way. Nothing is ever enough. The more I give, the more she expects. I sighed. Yeah, I know exactly how that feels. I don't know how you did it for so long, he muttered. Because I thought I had to, I said simply. There was a pause, then Lucas cleared his throat. I don't expect you to forgive me right away, he said, but I needed to say it. I was a bad brother, and I see that now. I closed my eyes, letting his words sink in. I wasn't sure I was ready to forgive him, but for the first time in years, he wasn't asking for anything. He wasn't trying to make me feel guilty. He was just apologizing. Maybe that was enough for now. A few weeks later, I got another call. This time, it was from an unknown number. I almost ignored it, but something told me to pick up. Hello? You think you're better than us now? My mom's voice snapped. I sighed. Hello to you too, Mom. You've embarrassed this family, she spat, walking away like that. Everyone knows what you did. Oh, and what exactly did I do? I asked, keeping my voice calm. You left me to suffer, she yelled. Suffer? I repeated. You mean like how I worked hard to keep you comfortable for years? Like how I paid for everything while you judged me? I raised you, she shot back. And I repaid you 1,000 times over, I said, more than any child should ever have to. There was silence on the other end. Finally, she spoke again, her voice softer. You think you don't need me. I know I don't need you, I corrected. And that scares you, doesn't it? More silence. Then, as usual, she laughed. You'll come back, she said, one day. You'll realize that family is all you have, and when that happens, don't expect me to be waiting. I smiled. I won't. And for the last time, I hung up. A year later, I was sitting on a beach, watching the waves crash against the shore. I had moved to a new city, started a new life, and found peace in the quiet freedom of not having anyone expect anything from me. My mom had tried to reach out a few more times, always with the same guilt trips. I never answered. Lucas and I were talking again, slowly rebuilding our relationship. He had learned the hard way. While I wasn't sure we'd ever be close, I appreciated his effort. And as for me, I was finally, truly happy. No more being the family's bank, no more being the scapegoat, no more living my life for everyone else. I took a deep breath, letting the salty air fill my lungs. I was free. And I wasn't going back.